Welcome to the Healing Chamber Podcast. This is Layla Rose, and today the topic is sex energy and manifestation and how we can use the power of our sexuality to create our own reality. So, the first thing I want to start with is that the frequency of sex, right? The energy of sex is actually the frequency and the energy of creation. Because think about it, without sex, no one would be here right now. So when I talk about sex energy, what I talk about is actually the creation energy. So the creation energy is the feminine and the masculine energies, merging together. That's what it is. So what does this mean now? How can we apply it to create something? So that's something that I talk about a lot, but I guess that's the sexual way of talking about it. I know like a lot of people talk about the O method, right? The orgasm method to create something, because when you do that, you're actually in this frequency of creation. So if you're pleasuring yourself and you're thinking about something that you want, yes, you're going to attract it. But there is a but, and I feel like that's where a lot of practitioners don't give enough disclaimers. If you use sexual energy, you're going to amplify whatever is already there. So because of that, when you use the O method, you have to make sure that you're doing it from a clear vessel. And that could be as simple as doing a breathwork practice where you clear, especially the lower chakras, because if not, you're going to attract or amplify your core childhood wounds. So for example, if you're using your sexual energy to attract this conscious divine partnership, what's going to happen is that if you have this core trauma of being abandoned, then you're going to attract someone who has immense potential of being your partner, right? But then they're going to trigger your abandonment wounds. And I feel like that's extremely emotionally painful. And that's why a lot of people have been saying, oh, Tantra is demonic, or, using sexual energy is demonic, or pleasure equals pain. Like, no. It's the way you do it. If you don't do it in the right order, if you don't protect your energy as well, with rose boundaries, like there's a whole protocol to do that. And that's something that I learned on one side of it, in the book called The Pleiadian Tantric Workbook. And you can't even read that book prior to reading the first book, which is the Pleiadian Workbook, I think, without the tantric, because you have to learn how to clear your chakras, and you have to have a spiritual hygiene practice that you do on a daily basis. You have to clear your channel, and also have these rose boundaries, because if you don't do that, you can even go into psychosis. Obviously if you just go straight into tantra and you just right away use your sexual energy, that's when people get all those spiritual attacks, which is an illusion. You're not being attacked by some demon around you. You're basically attacking yourself, because as within, so without, right? So you're basically just projecting out in the world what's happening within your body. If you're a woman, what's happening within your womb. So super important, again, to clear yourself before doing that, because that's how I've been seeing a lot of people just literally getting away from spirituality and getting into the whole like the Lord Jesus saved me, because they've been doing it the wrong way. They've been using spirituality the wrong way. They've been having all those core wounds being activated, and then they have this impression that they're being persecuted, and trust me, it's a horrible experience. And obviously if you mix psychedelics and drugs with that, forget about it. Like, you have the recipe for a disaster. So once you've cleared, once you've protected your energy, and then you're stepping into this realm of pleasure, which is the second chakra, which is the sacral chakra. This is the space where I work a lot with Hathor, because I work, with the womb space, the womb consciousness. The sacral chakra is all about creation, worthiness. So it's so interesting that once you start to clear that space, not only do you attract love, but you also attract abundance as well, and all the different things that are associated with self-worth. So just in general, when you're trying to manifest, when you're doing it from a place of joy, pleasure, and bliss, you're going to transcend time and space every single time, because you're using the love frequency. And we know that the love frequency is the most powerful one. It's the highest frequency we have on earth. So once you tap into that, and obviously it can be a practice, it depends on what we've been through in the past. I know that for some women that have been through sexual trauma, usually we have to work with the dark goddess first to make sure that we clear those really dark, deep wounding. And then at least we can, then start integrating the light goddess within this space, so we can create something and we can amplify it, right? We want to amplify the joy, the pleasure, and the bliss and the love. So yes, sexual energy is very powerful, and the reason why a lot of religions call it demonic is because it makes an individual extremely powerful, and once you're a powerful individual, you cannot be manipulated, you cannot be controlled by fear. So that's why it's demonic. It's you get to be in that space where you're communicating directly with God. Like there's no in between, there's no news outlet, you're connected to source. And obviously, it's pretty hard to control someone who's connected to source. So that's it for today's episode. Let me know what you think in the comments, and don't forget to share, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.